my gosh. Look at this marvelous creation. Oh, how does Joshua Weissman do this? All right, we're gonna make this intro really fast because I look evil right now and there's a bunch of nudes around. Pumpkins, the greatest vegetable on earth.
Today I'm gonna be eating only foods that contain pumpkin, either in its raw form or its pureed form. Basically, it's gonna be the best day ever. All right, I'm pumped. Let's get to it. Let's start off with a story. This is my history with pumpkins, specifically kabocha. Kabocha is a Japanese pumpkin and it is very different from your regular standard pumpkin because it is the most beautiful, perfect, sweet, starchy pumpkin you will ever taste. And I first tried it in 2012 when I came to Japan for the first time for a modeling contract, and I instantly became obsessed with it. I started eating it every night with whatever I had for dinner. It got to the point where my palms started turning orange and clients started complaining to my agency that I was turning orange and it wasn't looking good in their photos. So my agency banned me from eating pumpkin and I was nicknamed the Pumpkin Girl. Yeah, we had to separate for a bit, but now that I'm a retired model, I can eat as much pumpkin as I want. First up for breakfast, I'm gonna be making flourless pumpkin muffins. So in a large bowl, you wanna combine 2 1/4 cups of oats, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Mix it all up until it's combined really well. And then in another bowl, you're gonna combine your wet ingredients. Start off by adding a cup of pumpkin puree, 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 4 tablespoons of almond milk or any milk of your choice, 4 tablespoons of almond butter or any nut butter of your choice, and 2 eggs. You're also gonna need some dark chocolate chips on the side. We're gonna be using these a little bit later. So we're gonna mix this up all nice and good. It's nutty, hints of cinnamon, fall or breakfast. This is it. Okay, so when you got that all mixed up, you want to slowly pour in the liquid into the dry ingredients. Just keep mixing. All good things sound like that. Pasta, cookies, and baked goods. All the best things in life. Do you know what else all the best things in life have? A surprise on the inside, and we're gonna do that today. So what we're gonna do is scoop in some of the batter till you fill it about halfway up. Then you're gonna add the secret chocolate in the middle. So when you pull it apart, there's this ooey gooey chocolate surprise. Kinder Surprise, Tootsie Roll, Pops, like there's a lot of great things that have surprises in the inside when you bite into them, right? What else is there? Mochi. Mochi, yeah. Do yourself a favor and give yourself a surprise in the morning, but you already know it's there, but maybe you can give it to someone else. This is like, if I give this to Tommy's, he'd be like, oh, a healthy muffin. Boom, surprise. Gotcha. All right, looks fantastic. And then pop it into your preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake them for 22 minutes until they're golden brown. So now we are going to start our pumpkin spiced warm beverage, and it's gonna be chai because we are not Ringard on this channel. Do you know what that means? Someone hasn't seen Emily in Paris. In a saucepan over low heat, combine 4 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. Then you're gonna add 2 cups of milk of any kind. I'm using oat milk today, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 chai tea bags or about 4 grams of loose leaf chai, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Where's my baby? There, right there. Oh, it's so cute. Oh. Then you're gonna whisk it so that the pumpkin is thoroughly incorporated, and you're gonna let the tea brew for about 5 minutes. How are we looking down here? They have risen. Good morning. Once they're done, just pop them out of the oven, and you're gonna be very tempted because it looks and smells amazing, but you gotta wait, you gotta let them cool down for about 15 minutes. The flavors are really light and simple. On pumpkin, you can't taste too much, it's not too overpowering. but then you get the little hint of chocolate and it's just perfection.
If you're using loose leaf tea, then you want to strain it out.
Then according to your cup, you can add some whipped cream if you like, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and top it off with a cinnamon stick. Or if you want to make it into a latte, you can add some frothed milk on top. Lunch, we're having pasta with a creamy pumpkin sauce. This recipe is a good one. It's really fast, it's not difficult to make, and you're going to impress anyone you serve, or even if you serve yourself, because I eat a lot of meals alone. Ain't no shame in that.
First, you want to start boiling your pasta water. So grab a big pot, fill it with enough water, and add a generous amount of salt.
Waiting for water to boil is the longest wait in the world. That, the 1 minute of a microwave, the longest minute ever. What else? Oh, waiting for the muffins. Like, this is the day of waiting for things, waiting for muffins to cool down. Test your patience. But we are boiling, it's happening, it's happening. If you guys could smell the ingredients I have sitting here, I don't know what would happen to you. You would like it. You could. Something would happen. Because we've got the mixture of white wine, I'm smelling the pumpkin, I'm smelling the garlic, the Parmigiano cheese, the butter. Oh, this is gonna be unreal. Water is boiling, add in your pasta. On medium-low heat, add 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 2 chopped garlic cloves. Cook it for about 1 minute until it starts to brown. And then add in your pumpkin puree, 1/4 cup of cream, 1/2 cup of white wine, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan. A touch more, because a little extra Parmesan never hurted anybody. Heard it? Heard it. Let your sauce simmer and cook for about 8 minutes. Your noodles. So I cooked a little bit too many noodles, and I also want to save a bit of sauce on the side. So I put the sauce into a bowl, and I also have the noodles in a bowl, and now I'm gonna combine the right portion for what we want right now in this pan. But if you make the right amount of sauce and the right amount of noodles that you want to eat right now, you can just add them to the pan and mix it all together. And we're gonna go in with the sauce. And the very important ingredient, some pasta water. If there's one thing I learned during this self-isolation period and the amount of pasta videos I've watched, it's the importance of pasta water to making a good pasta. So it just makes it a little bit starchier and creamier. Makes it mix a little easier too. Now I'm just gonna plate the pasta, and then we're gonna sprinkle on a bit more Parmesan cheese, some fresh Italian parsley, and a touch of black cracked pepper. And there you have it, lunch is served. Okay, let's try it. I love a pasta sauce with a lot of garlic, wine, and parsley. These 3 ingredients and butter always make a good pasta. It is almost dinner time, and I'm gonna begin by preparing the dessert because tonight we're gonna be having a pumpkin pudding. So I wanna make it first and have it set in the fridge while I make the main meal. So first off, you wanna get about 150 grams of pumpkin or kabocha. So that's about like a slice of this. So you're gonna wash it and slice it. In a pan on medium-low heat, add 20 grams of water and 50 grams of brown sugar. And then just keep heating it and stirring it until it thickens. In the meantime, get a pot of water boiling. You can either boil your pumpkin or steam it. I'm gonna steam mine today. Once your water is boiling, add your pumpkin and steam it until it's cooked and all soft. Then add your pumpkin to a blender
You're also gonna add 1 cup of coconut milk, 4 tablespoons of coconut cream, a teaspoon of pumpkin spice, or you can do a mixture of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves, and 6 tablespoons of sugar. Blend that all together till it's nice and smooth. Then just pour your mixture over a strainer to make it extra smooth and into a pot. Over medium heat, add in 1/8 a teaspoon of agar, and then just keep mixing it and bring the mixture to a boil. Spoon it into your jar.
Dinner time! For dinner, we are having pumpkin soup. You probably guessed that was gonna be in this video, and yes, it is, because soup is the ultimate fall meal. Not meal, because we're gonna have something on the side, but what's your top soups of all time?
Pumpkin soup.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. If I had to choose.
Too.
Borscht, oh, that's a good one. Classic, like, chicken and rice, because you can kind of throw in any vegetable into it, whatever you have in your fridge. But then, like chicken and rice, the Greek lemon chicken rice soup. When I eat that, I'm like somewhere off in Mykonos, like there's a party in my mouth. If you add a little bit of chili on it, there's really a party going on. Then you get into the Asian soups.
Yeah, or the Chinese soups.
Pho, or like tom yum goong.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, samgyeop. Samgyeop is like top. Like what? When you have different noodles, different soup bases to choose from, different like toppings, the combinations are endless.
Yeah.
Like, it's never-ending fun.
But that's more like a noodle soup.
Yeah, but Asian soups are just like it's the perfect mixture of like flavors and textures, like sweet, salty, spicy, sour. Like, okay. Anyways, we're making pumpkin soup. Comment below what your top 3 favorite soups are. Let us know. Let's have a little debate on what the best is in the comments. So grab a large pot, pop it on the stove. To that, you're gonna add 1 leek, thinly chopped. Have you ever seen the Hatsune Miku?
Which one came first? Oh!
I'm not meant to be an idol. My crew's over, I need to accept it.
To a large pot, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and your leek, and you're just gonna fry it up for about 5 minutes until it becomes soft and translucent. Next, you're gonna add in all of your spices, so half a teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, half teaspoon of both dried oregano and nutmeg, and 3 garlic cloves crushed. Stir that all up and just fry it until it becomes aromatic. Then add in 4 cups of veggie broth, 2 cinnamon sticks, 400 grams of chickpeas drained and washed.
Chickpeas are a great way to make your soups taste more creamy without adding heavy cream, so it's a great option for vegans or vegetarians who don't have milk. Not only does it taste good, but you also get the extra fiber from the chickpeas.
And then 1 kilogram of pumpkin. Just bring this to a boil over high heat. Cover it, reduce the heat to medium-low, and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Now that our pumpkin is all soft and cooked, you're gonna add this mixture to a blender and blend it until smooth, and then add it back to your pot.
On the side of our pumpkin soup, we're gonna make pumpkin grilled cheeses. I need to stop myself here because it didn't work out. The cheese just wasn't stringy enough, and the filling was kind of sludgy and underwhelming. It was okay, but nothing amazing. However, the soup turned out good, so I wanted to show you that. And then the next day, it was back to the drawing board. I experimented with different ingredients, bread, cheeses, and came up with exactly what I was looking for. This ooey gooey masterpiece. Here's how I made it. First, preheat your oven to 230 degrees Celsius, and in a medium bowl, combine 3/4 of a cup of pure pumpkin puree, 1½ teaspoons of pumpkin spice, 1½ teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Taste it and adjust it to your liking, and then take a pan lined with a baking sheet and butter 1 side of each piece of bread. Lay half the slices of bread butter side down before distributing the pumpkin mixture, shredded mozzarella, sliced cheddar cheese, and some arugula. Being careful to not let the ends poke out because they will burn. Place the other slice of bread on top, butter side up, and bake for 6 to 8 minutes, then flip and bake for another 6 to 8 minutes until golden brown and crispy. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Crispy, chewy, soft, flaky. You've got the pumpkin, you've got the sweetness of the pumpkin spice, the spice of the chili powder, the smokiness of the smoked paprika, and then you've got the creamy cheese, you've got the bitter arugula. There's just so many flavors and textures working together to make the most divine food. It is so good. Grilled cheese is so underrated. Start off by adding a cup of pumpkin puree. Start off by adding a cup of pumpkin. Start off by adding a cup of pumpkin. Whoa, we're in for a long day if I can't say that word.
Thank you very much. Whoa!
Surprise!
It's chocolate?
Yeah!
Whoa! Very nice.
Standing ovation, no, sitting ovation.
And it's chewy and with melting chocolate inside. Perfect.